All right, here we go. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to sketch two-dimensional vectors on a coordinate plane, add and subtract two-dimensional vectors graphically, calculate the results in 2D vectors that lie on an axis, and calculate the components of 2D vectors. Here we go. You did all this over the pre-quiz, yes? All right. So, adding vectors, finding the resultants of vectors. I'm going to teach you with an example. Okay, so let's say you walk 500 meters south and then 1,300 meters west. What is your resultant displacement? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw both of these vectors starting at the origin. Okay, so we got 1,300 meters west, 500 meters south. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do something called head to tail. Okay, where we're going to cut and paste one of these vectors. Take the tail of this purple one. We're going to stick it at the head of the green one. Okay. Notice I did not change the way it's pointing, nor did I change how long it is. Okay, good with that. And to find the resultant, what we're going to do is we're going to start at the origin, and we're going to draw to the final head. Okay. So this would be your resultant displacement. How far you got and in which direction you got away from your starting point. Does that make sense? So, to calculate the length of that resultant, Vincent, what should I do? You just told me.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
Know the sides and distances and square them.
Yeah. So Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. C ends up being 1,393 meters. Good? So that's how far you got away from where you started. If you did 1,300 meters west and 500 meters south. Good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. But in order to give me the displacement, I also need a direction. I go, okay, southwest. And I come back to you and say, okay, well, couldn't that also mean like that direction too? That's southwest. And you're like, yeah, I guess you're right. I need something more specific. I need a direction. I need an angle. Oh. So here's my counsel, my advice. You calculated this. These numbers are source numbers. Like you were given these. You calculated this one. If you can find this angle without using this, because you might have made a mistake, you don't remember. If you can find this with source numbers, that would be safer. Does that make sense? How would we find this angle using 1,300 and 500? Tell your neighbor.
No, inverse tangent. Inverse tangent. Well, yeah.
So, I heard a lot of those. Inverse tangent. Okay. So, opposite over adjacent. When we do that, we find that to be 21 degrees. So if I told you, okay, I want you to walk 1,393 meters at 21 degrees, you'd be like, right, on it. You can do that. And so most all of you would be like, got it, boom. 21 degrees. And I'm like, oh shoot, no, scratch that. I mean, how could I communicate? I got 21 degrees here. How could I communicate that better? That actually gets you to do that path, in that direction.
Find the angle. You have to put like tangents, the exponent -1.
Good guess. No? Morgan?
21 degrees below the negative x.
Okay, so one way you could write that is you could say 21 degrees below negative x-axis. Good with that? What's another way I can communicate that?
From what I can see, it's basically 180 plus 21.
Okay?
Like basically
Yes.
201.
Right. So you can do math. This is how math class would want you to answer this. You always start at the positive x of 0 degrees, add 180. So it should be 201. The other way you can communicate that would be using this directional stuff. So you would say 21 degrees south of west. Okay. Here's how you unpack this. This is probably newer stuff. You read this backwards. You start with west and you go south. How far? 21 degrees. You okay with that? Any of these is correct. Okay? If you're in math class, I'd stick with this. That make sense? Okay. Now, follow-up question is, well, how did you know to cut and paste the purple one? Right? I mean, you're given these. I mean, just like purple. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's try and cut and paste the green one. What we find, it has the same resultant. The difference, though, is it's a different triangle. And theta, when we do inverse tangent of this guy, opposite's 13, adjacent's now 500, we find that's 69 degrees. So you could say at 69 degrees to the left of the negative y-axis, 201 degrees still is valid. Subtract 270. Or you could say 69 degrees west of the south. So any of those would be valid answers. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions there? Okay. Popular error. When you're given this problem,
Don't do that.
it's like, boom, just result in it. You'll get the right magnitude. You'll get 1,393, but good luck with the direction. Okay, so make sure you do your head to tail first. Make sure you do cut and paste. Okay? Have a conversation.
Hey.
So,
Oh, wait, I guess. Oh, wait, so yeah.
I know, actually, my. I thought I think it's either A or B. The positive Y is on the. I don't think it's D.
correct answer is good. D. Dangerous dinosaurs. Okay. Make sure that you cut and paste. A is wrong. You didn't cut and paste. B is wrong because you did cut and paste. You need to start at the origin and draw away from the origin to the final head. Okay. C has the same ear as A. Good?
Well, maybe like you start not the origin.
I'm going to coach you to always start with this.
'Cause
So, like, some people would be like, hey, look, I'm reading the story problem, and then I'm going to draw this. Nope, I'm going to draw that. I understand why that is, but
it could be like you start at negative 1300 and then you move from there.
I would always make wherever you start your origin. Watch out, this one's subtraction. Tell your neighbor. How you got it?
It can't be it.
Oh,
It's the only one.
you start with the parent or the top with upper and for subtraction is to starting down.
That's not it says subtracting two vectors. Chip. It's not A. It's not A. It is not A. Yeah, that's not C. I feel like C and subtracting is the opposite.
Only one of them is subtracting.
It says subtracting.
Yeah, the blue one
Oh,
is
wait, no, I see what you mean.
what would it be?
Mine is green, so blue would say the same. Mine green. It's just. Yeah, I think I. Because if you're subtracting, you're going 270 down. It should be negative 270.
Correct answer is? Correct answer is D, dangerous dinosaurs. Okay, which one are we flipping? The green or the blue? Green. Flip the green. Flip the green. So, flipping that, now we're just doing head to tail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It does not matter which one you cut and paste. They have the same resultant. But doesn't matter which one you flip. Is B minus A the same thing as A minus B? No. Oh dear.
I think you put this.
Okay. So the order in which you subtract absolutely matters, but the order that which you add does not. Okay with that? Like A plus B is the same thing as B plus A. But A minus B is not the same thing as B minus A. Okay. What? Who's up when you have a guess? Tell your neighbor. Correct answer is
C.
Correct answer is C. I'm gonna cut and paste. I'm gonna take this guy. Does that make sense? Keep it parallel. Keep it the same length and pointing in the same direction. And then start at the origin and draw to the final head.
It also works with A and B.
It would work if you did.
The top is the line.
Right. You cut and paste this one, same result. Good? A minus B. Tell your neighbor. Tell them how you got there.
I guarantee you it's not
Yeah.
So a negative, I think you gotta,
I should know.
you gotta, I understand.
Because you just have
The middle is straight.
one of these.
No, because it's not at the middle. I
I'm not, we're talking about almost opposite.
Correct answer is.
B.
Which one are we flipping?
B.
B. Okay. So now we cut and paste. Correct answer is A. Okay. It matters which one you flip, but it does not matter which one you cut and paste. If I cut and paste A,
Y'all had me think too. You guys made sense.
does that make sense? Make sure you flip the correct one first. Then do your head to tail. Good?
There's no way. I know you said that, I was like, wait, it's like you flip.
You got
On a 9 45.
Wait, am I doing this?
Correct answer is Correct answer is C. So you can swim 3 meters per second in a pool. Current is moving at 4 meters per second. So the resultant, after you do head to tail, would be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Okay? So what this means is this is your resultant velocity. Another way to say this is the velocity of you relative to this person on the bank. They see you moving at 5 meters per second going in this direction. Okay? Quick demo. Here's a swimmer swimming in a pool. That's how fast they can swim in a pool. Okay, in still water. Now, we're going to take the swimmer and put it in a river. Okay? We're going to swim downstream. Okay, it's like a moving walkway. You're walking on a moving walkway. Right. Now, if we have the swimmer go upstream, assume going 4 meters a second, swimmer can swim 3 meters a second. So relative to you, it looks like the swimmer's going backwards. Give it that. Now across the river, I'm going to make our river a little wider here. You appreciate it. Do it again. That. So that's the resultant velocity. Here's a little gaming hack. Strafe, is that the terminology for going sideways? Okay. If you strafe while going forward simultaneously, you go faster than you could ever go just forward. Because what it does is it adds the two velocities together. So if you can train yourself to run like this, you can go faster than anybody else on the game. Well, practical, sort of. Application there. That makes sense? Okay. I threw this in here from the pre-quiz. I think this was discussed in the pre-quiz. But so we're doing 3 vectors You're doing 3 vectors, how do you do it?
Basically, we're making a quadrilateral.
Alright, so 20 meters at 45 degrees. I'm sketching this, I'm going to sketch this kind of at a relative length here. 25 at 300 degrees. You want to make that a little longer. That's 3 at 30 degrees. Doing some math there, that's 25 meters. And then the third one is 15 meters at 210 degrees. So something shorter. Somewhere in there. That's 30 degrees. There, 15 meters. Everybody? That makes sense where this is coming from? Okay. To find the resultant of these, all we're doing is doing head to tail multiple times. Okay. So let's start with this. And then I'm going to do head to tail of this guy. So I'm going to like swing this up. Keep it parallel. Keep it parallel. Roughly the same length. Yes. Okay, so head to tail, cut and paste that one. And then I'm going to do the last one. So I'm going to take the tail of that, stick it at the head of that. Okay, just repeating the process. And making that parallel, same length. Get there. My resultant, starting at the final, sorry, at the origin and go to the final head. That's my resultant.
Still a little more.
Yeah? Good with that? So that's how you do it graphically.
Basically made it very weird.
Okay? So what this is, practically what this is giving us is an estimation where the answer is. Okay. All right, so components. Components tell us how much of the vector is going purely in the y direction, how much is going purely in the x direction. Okay. So I'm going to take an example of 120 meters at 30 degrees east of south. So that's going to be, I'm going to read it backwards, starting south, go east, how far? 30 degrees. In my journey, did any of my motions go in the southward direction? As I did this path. So I could travel southward. Yeah. Was all of my motion in the southward direction? No. But was part of it? Yes. How much of it was going south? Oh. About this much. That would be my y component of that vector. Okay? tell your neighbor which trig function you would use to find delta y, the y component. You're given the hypotenuse and the angle, you're looking for the adjacent, so you're going to use cosine. Yeah, cosine of 30 is equal to delta y over 120. So delta y is then cosine of 104. And which direction is that going? South. So I could say south, or I could say a negative 104 meters in the y direction.
Is it like S exponent? Or like, what did you say about?
See what?
What is your S?
Sorry, it's just, typically it's gonna be negative 104. You could say south, just write the word.
Like as exponent or just like?
No,
after?
just afterwards, I just ran out of room. Okay, good with that? Now, in my wanderings, did I move eastward at all? Not all of my motion was going east, but part of it was, right? Yes? How much of it was going eastward? Oh, about that much. Move here. Upgrade here. Okay? I'm gonna switch to black here, right, with that. About that far. That has the same length as this side of the triangle. Here at that. Using our source numbers, 120 and 30 degrees, how would I find my delta x? Which trig function would you use to tell your neighbor? Correct answer is use sine of 30 is equal to delta x over 120. That's 60 meters, you could say east, or you could say a positive 60 meters. Okay? You guys heard of the word components before?
Yes. Lots of times.
Okay, so they're pieces, parts that make up the whole. Yes? So check this out. If we take the x and the y components and we found the resultant of these two, we would do head to tail. You know how they taught you like addition and then they taught you subtraction? You know, like just reverse, okay? So to find the resultant and find the components is like a similar relationship. Good with that? Okay. This next question, I just want you to figure out my process of elimination. All the right numbers are there. You just have to like look at the diagram and figure out which is the correct choice. Tell your neighbor what you Think. Correct answer is
B.
B. And X is going in the negative direction. And the Y is going in the positive direction and is longer. Good with that. Last question. This one you will need a calculator.
It'll be 25.
Oh, sorry, I'm sitting on the remote.
Oh, so it's gonna be 3 and 4. Oh, you're right. It's just.
That one's 5 minutes, but what's the other one?
So it'll be.
We don't know. Oh, we can do it. Fine.
Okay, wait. You can use, to find that one, to find X, it'll be. Well. It's going,
You can use
negative X and negative Y.
use fine.
Correct answer is
B?
Adam, oh, you do
Oh, wait, no, it's not. No. No, it's.
correct answer is A. Make sure you can get that on your calculator. Sure you can get that on your calculator. Okay. Here's the worksheet that is due on Tuesday. Tuesday. No. Some people like to do stuff ahead.
Yeah.
You said like the sideways.